For the very first time, juror 17 is making her case.
It's scary. There's people that hate me that don't even, know me.
The mother of three cast the lone vote that saved the life of killer Jodi Arias.
I feel like I'm being judged, and I didn't ask for this. I just showed up for jury duty.
Now it's juror 17 who is being condemned.
There was very minimal deliberation, comments from her.
Fellow jurors claimed she shut down. They tried to get her booted.
We went as far as to request consideration of an alternate.
The reaction on social media, murderous. Twitter, Facebook, thick with threats. Juror 17's name, address, and phone number posted for anyone to see. Cops are now patrolling her neighborhood.
People are being attacked that didn't even know I was on jury duty.
She's tried fighting back, but it's not working.
I have been getting on there trying to report things. I'm saying that, I was a juror, my information was not supposed to be released.
Now juror 17 is speaking out for the first time since a mistrial was declared 2 weeks ago in the sentencing phase of Arias' trial. With this second mistrial, Arias now faces a sentence of life in prison. 12 News is not disclosing juror 17's identity, just as we have not disclosed the identities of the 11 other jurors.
I didn't ask to be on this trial. I didn't do anything to ensure that I would stay on it.
Over the course of our hour-long interview, juror 17 took on a conspiracy theory that won't die, that she was the stealth juror who fooled everyone to save Jodi Arias from the needle.
It wasn't easy. I didn't ask for it. I didn't want it. All I did was answer the questions truthfully. I didn't want to be involved. I didn't want this pressure.
She says she did know about the Arias case before she was seated on the jury.
How much did you know about this case before you arrived in that jury room?
I live in Arizona, so I had heard about the case, and I had seen, just when they would come up on the news.
The 7-year-old legal saga just wasn't on her radar.
I would hear people talk about it, and it wasn't something I really wanted to get sucked into. Not the problems that I had going on at the time.
But juror 17 would get sucked in.
The day that I went to jury duty, there was a lot of people there, but they were calling for a lot of cases, and I was like, what are the odds that I'm going to be called in for that case?
She says the courthouse was chattering that this could be the Jodi Arias death penalty trial, the second one after a mistrial was declared the first time. Juror 17 was brought to a courtroom. Arias was there.
And from that very moment, I was like, oh my God. I want to say that I was like shaking even. I was like, the seriousness of the matter hit me right away.
She filled out the juror questionnaire, she says, with more answers than required.
Everything that I do, I try to be the best at it. I try to do everything try to follow the instructions as well as possible.
Notes from attorneys' interviews with potential jurors show juror 17 disclosed that her current husband had served time in prison before they met, and that she had an abusive relationship with her ex-husband, who was convicted of robbery.
My struggles and my frustrations were always directed towards him.
That answer was a rebuttal to a fast-spreading conspiracy theory. It was hatched on social media the same morning the mistrial was declared 2 weeks ago. That juror 17 was seeking revenge against Arias prosecutor Juan Martinez for putting her ex-husband behind bars 15 years ago.
Did you know Juan Martinez at the time? Did you know who the name of the prosecutor in his case?
No, I didn't. I honestly, when I saw the name come up, when I saw it on social media and that link, I didn't remember him.
So you're saying you never knew Juan Martinez prosecuted your husband?
When I walked into the courtroom and I saw him for the initial jury selection, the only memory that I have of recognizing him is from TV. Nothing beyond that.
So you recognized him from those Arias stories you saw?
And I want to say that I saw him in another case. I saw him on a true crime show for another case, and I want to say that it was a case where a wife stabbed her husband in his sleep.
Juror 17 says when the new conspiracy theory involving Martinez and her ex broke online, she immediately texted the court bailiff.
I gave all my information up front. I didn't know the connection until now. Please let me know what I can do.
Suddenly, she was getting phone calls, friend requests, and Twitter posts.
It was scary and upsetting for me to hear that. You know, I was like, I gave you everything, like, you know, like, why is this coming up now?
Some background on how 12 News got this interview. Juror 17's attorneys offered it to me without my having asked for it. I didn't cover the Arias trials, but I've interviewed newsmakers for many years. I've also worked with Juror 17's attorneys in the past on other sensitive stories. And to answer a question we're getting on social media right now, Juror 17 was not paid to do this interview, nor did she ask for any money.